The King of Clients, Episode 10, The New Cycle of Abuse. The arc is long, and the struggle continues. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Welcome back to The King of Clients. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. We have broken down every defense, from the dangerously structured dam of the NPA to the terror of the ghosts and the grid. We have named the beneficiaries of the power of the list. But the greatest danger is believing that the fight is over. The systematic corruption we exposed, the shielding of the powerful from sex trafficking charges, is not a historical relic. It is a persistent, ongoing pattern. Dr. King said, "The arc is long, and the struggle continues." We must prove that this struggle is happening right now in the present moment. The core of the Epstein failure was the legal principle of immunity for the elite. When the powerful are protected from the laws they write, abuse is guaranteed to flourish. The structure is simple. When a high-profile figure with access to money and political power is accused of human exploitation, elements of the state apparatus will step in to create a legal shield. The most recent chilling example involves the indictment of Andrew Tate and his brother on charges of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized criminal group to sexually exploit women in Romania and other countries. The parallel to the King of Clients is undeniable. The Tates are accused of using the lover boy method. They lure vulnerable women with the pretense of a romantic relationship. Then they're subjecting them to coercive control, threats of violence, and force them to produce explicit content for the organization's profit. It is a high-profit scheme of human degradation, updated for the social media age. And just as in the Epstein case, when the law finally moved, the system of elite protection emerged. The most concerning element, the part that proves the system is still compromised, is the alleged political interference right here in the United States. Reports indicate that a White House official was involved in a pressure campaign directed at Homeland Security investigations, demanding the return of seized digital devices belonging to the Tate brothers. These devices are the equivalent of the King of Clients' flight logs and personal records. They are the key evidence to the network. Why would the executive branch of the U.S. government, the ultimate authority that failed to prosecute Epstein, allegedly intervene on behalf of alleged human traffickers overseas? Because the corruption is systemic, the same principle that protected the potential co-conspirators in 2008, the desire to shield the network, the powerful, and the flow of dark money is being applied today. The threat is not just that the abuse is ongoing, but that the mechanisms of the state are being weaponized to shield the abusers. We are caught in the unavoidable fight. The new cycle of abuse proves that the system has not self-corrected. The dam is still broken, but we must clarify the timeline of the betrayal. This is not just 10 years of failure. This is 30 years since Maria made that phone call. 30 years of my life, 30 years of your life, that the system had every chance to put this man and all the rest of them away for the rest of their lives, and they deliberately chose not to. The motivation was never incompetence. It was a vast and coordinated effort to defy the rule of law and the very principles this nation is based upon. All of it, the legal immunity, the financial cover-up, the political intervention, was all mobilized for a single obscene goal, so that powerful 60-year-old men could experience a new 15-year-old girl upon command, with Epstein filming the entire transaction, weaponizing the footage for blackmail. This is the corruption so deep, so absolute, that it is a complete societal hijacking. We have audited the architecture of corruption. We have tracked the dollar, and we have tracked the lie. But we must now face the fundamental question: why? Why has the arc of the moral universe been seized and bent not toward justice, but toward the preservation of an elite few? The shield that protected this crime was not mere greed, but a philosophy as dangerous as any ancient tyranny: transhumanism. Simply defined, transhumanism is the belief, especially among those who possess vast wealth, that they are the only ones worthy of transcending human limits. They use technological and genetic power to achieve biological immortality and the preservation of what they deem a superior genetic lineage. For the powerful men in this network, this is not a philosophical musing. This is the ideology of superiority formalized. This belief system creates the ultimate crisis of conscience. If a person believes he is so genetically valuable that he must live forever, then his survival supersedes every law, every moral constraint, and every victim's human dignity. This arrogance is the poison that justified the crime. The wealthy men in this network don't just feel rich. They feel exempt from the very laws of God and man. They are too genetically valuable to fail, too important to die, and therefore too significant to be held accountable by the laws they are planning to transcend anyway. This is the ultimate spiritual collapse Dr. King warned us about. The ultimate injustice is that the money that bought the legal shield, the NPA, was the same money used to buy the biological shield, the quest for immortality. We are not merely fighting a criminal. We are fighting the fundamental lie that some lives are inherently superior and must be preserved at all costs. We must refuse this lie. We must reject this new eugenics, and we must demand that the law which prosecutes the poor must also hold accountable the elite who seek to buy their way out of humanity. The struggle continues because the darkness they created is still alive. But we have held the light steady. We have exposed the architects, the conduits, and the motive. We have brought the truth of the power of the list into the public square. The final work of the audit remains. We must move from analysis to action. Next time, in our final episode, we will synthesize every failure we have found. We will lay out the case for systemic restructuring, and we will issue the final unifying demand for the restoration of the rule of law. We will conclude with the moral reckoning, a call to conscience.